William Hill Vegas sponsors Joshua vs. Whyte on Sky Sports Box Office.
Radio Raheem here with the most recognizable voice in boxing, Michael Buffer. You know, when Michael Buffer has made an appearance, it's a big deal. And you're here in London. You're going to be announcing maybe the biggest fight here, even bigger, I would say, than the heavyweight fight because of the excitement pre-fight. Coming to the end of the year, what do you think has been the biggest event for you to have announced in 2015?
Oh, in 2015, you know, it's fresh in my memory, of course, is a couple weeks ago in Dusseldorf when Tyson Fury came in and I guess you have to call it an upset and beat Wladimir Klitschko in what many fight fans think was a dreadful fight for Wladimir. He just didn't show up. He didn't have anything, and Fury used that to his advantage and controlled the fight. Not a great fight, but a huge event. You know, 50,000 people were there live, and it was seen by millions around the world. And but that kind of sets the stage for what we have here in London, because you know, the gold medal winner, Anthony Joshua, is on the verge of becoming a superstar. But this guy he's fighting Saturday night, his last 12 fights, all wins by knockout. Dillian Whyte, I'm talking about. And so this is going to be one of those fights. Forget about the judges. You can put bags over their head or send them home. As long as the referee knows how to count to 10, that's probably going to be the outcome, and it could end, you know, within 3, 4, maybe 5 rounds. Just an opinion. I can't say who I think is going to win, but it's going to be a great fight. But the undercard is stacked. I mean, it's just, you know, for boxing fans, it always amazes me when you watch a pay-per-view event from Las Vegas, and until the main event, you just see all these empty seats. And here you have a card here in London where probably 5 of these fights at different levels of promotion, different arenas, would be sellouts and main events. You know, featuring Tony Bellew, Kevin Mitchell, Luke Campbell, you know, the list goes on, and then Chris Eubanks and Spike O'Sullivan. An outstanding card. Any of the British fans, you know, I'm sure you're familiar with them. They get there early, they stick around, they enjoy their pints, and they're just loyal, dedicated, hardcore boxing fans. So this place will be jumping for like 6 straight hours.
And to that point, you know, William Hill Vegas is bringing us Anthony Joshua versus Dillian Whyte, and that Vegas connection, it reaches back across the pond. The UK fighters have somewhat had their own kind of league, if you would. They have their own fan base, and it hadn't been so global. But here recently, you've been doing a lot of traveling, and that kind of indicates to me that the worlds are connecting. Have you been seeing that recently, and do you think that European boxing is now actually, it's their time in the States and on the proving ground of the world stage?
Yeah, European boxing has been, for the last decade, probably, you know, like people were saying, like, well, why doesn't Wladimir come and fight in America? Because he's selling out arenas with 50,000 people in Germany year after year, and RTL will broadcast these fights in Germany to huge ratings. So, you know, why take a pay cut and go to America when, nice talking to you, when, you know, the fans are just really here. And same thing, the UK fans, they're the most loyal in boxing. When Lennox Lewis and Ricky Hatton and Joe Calzaghe would fight in the States, thousands of fans would show up. And you don't have any other fan base like that in the world. So, you know, you see it, like this arena was sold out 2 months ago for this event. Great fans. We've got that connection with William Hill Vegas. We've got, you know, other great sponsors here, and just looking forward to a great night of boxing. But you're right, it is, you know, with social media, with the internet, with the wires, everything that all goes together. Fight fans just get on their laptops or their iPads, and they're constantly in touch with fights around the world. So now they're seeing how many great fighters there are here in Europe and Eastern Europe.
And as much as you are the voice of boxing in general, you're most associated with the heavyweight championship of the world, being that that's the crown jewel. And of the last 10 years, the Klitschkos have been reigning, and like you say, yeah, in Germany and Russia, whatnot, huge. They're selling out in major venues. But in America, we'd kind of taken a sleeping pill on it. They weren't really the fan favorite that the American champions had been. Now, seeing that the king somewhat has been upset and there's so many heavyweights out there vying for the crown, do you feel like the heavyweight division is finally coming back? And do you think we'll ever see that golden age again?
Yeah, to have a golden age like that one you had for a period when Ali was champ and there was a great top 10. Actually, two different eras in Ali's life where he would go through the top 10 fighters, and you had Smoking Joe Frazier and George Foreman and Ron Lyle and Jerry Quarry and just Cleveland Williams, just a great age. But they were all in America. So now you have fighters, it's more global. So Tyson Fury, UK, Wladimir Klitschko, Europe and Eastern Europe. It's a worldwide thing now. We have to get the American boxing writers to start writing about some of these guys. And the enemy of the fan is the time difference. You have a fight here at one time and it's 3 o'clock in the morning somewhere else, or vice versa. So it just has to be all put together and do it for the fans. But here in the UK, the most exciting thing is the winner of this fight is going to be on a pace, maybe a year and a half away from, if he keeps the title, Tyson Fury, which you could have 85, maybe 90,000 sitting on the roof at Wembley for a fight like that. So it's alive and well here. And I think, we've got the WBC title belongs to an American. He's fighting a guy from Poland coming up. And so we're just going to see a big mix of different fighters.
When speaking to a person like you with the honor of talking to someone who's really history alive and well, just I feel like you have a perspective that so many of us couldn't simply possibly have. So let me ask you this. People argue about who's best, ranked, pound for pound. All that stuff goes back and forth. But when you step out of the ring and you can either go about your business or sit ringside and watch, who's the most entertaining to you? What fighter, when you call that fight, you're like, I'm not going to miss a round?
Right now, I love Triple G. 21 straight knockouts, I think, and every title defense that he's made has been by knockout victory, of course. He's like everything we used to see in Mike Tyson. You just assumed, what round is he going to knock his opponent out in? So now we're looking forward to seeing him fight Canelo, maybe later in 2016. Jacobs just captured a title, and you got two guys here that are going to fight for an eliminator to fight him. The middleweight division is red hot, and I always thought the middleweight division was a glamour division. But for guys I like to watch, another one is that flyweight, Ramon Gonzalez. Oh man, this guy. For me, he's pound for pound the best fighter in the world right now.
Wow. Triple G versus Canelo. Who you got?
Oh, I just have to introduce them. I'm not going to predict a winner there.
Radio Raheem with the voice of boxing, Michael Buffer. All of us who work with our throats. Listen, man, you're an inspiration, and you are, really, you're the pinnacle. And, just every time I hear myself speak, I'd love to have that golden voice that you have. So
I'd love to have yours.
Stop it. Radio Raheem with Michael Buffer.
William Hill Vegas sponsors Joshua vs. Whyte on Sky Sports Box Office.